Will sealed Pokemon card investors destroy the Pokemon market? There are somewhere between tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of sealed Pokemon investors in the world right now. The number of hobbyists turned cardboard investors can be staggering to think about. We have all seen people fighting outside, or inside for that matter, Targets and Walmarts across the country. And most of these dirty flippin' scoundrels are just flipping, aka scalping, all the product they get their hands on. Some of it stays sealed and some of it gets ripped. But with all these people keeping Pokemon boxes sealed, what does that mean for Pokemon card prices in general? Is this sealed investing going to destroy the hobby long term? Well, let's find out. First off, what you need to know is the different types of people within the Pokemon ecosystem, the different types of buyers. So let's go through the setup and discuss a healthy Pokemon ecosystem, again, by describing some of the different types of buyers within Pokemon. So when a new Pokemon product releases, there are basically three types of buyers. Number one, which is most of us, are the openers, the pack rippers. People who open packs because they just love the game, they're searching for a specific hit, or they just like collecting. Or they're just genuinely addicted to gambling, but in a charming way. And one more type of buyer that has become much more significant in recent history that I didn't put into my notes is the rip and ship operations, the rip and shippers. If you don't know what rip and shippers do, basically all they do is they go around the secondary market or buying Pokemon product at MSRP if they can, and then they open the packs live on Whatnot or Twitch or YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform they might choose, and they just open packs for people and they sell it at a markup. Oftentimes they will sell these booster packs at 110 or even 120% of market price. And the reason I bring that up is because this has been something that has exploded over the past especially 2 years, maybe 3 years. It's really become a massive player. So those are the rippers, the pack openers, and the second buyer group would be sealed investors. So these are the people who just buy sealed boxes of Pokemon cards, whether it be boxes or booster bundles, ETBs, and they just stick it on a shelf, log it in a spreadsheet, and wait for a number go up. The third group of buyers would be the ones that are pretty much universally hated, the flippers and scalpers. So these people don't really have much use in the broader ecosystem of trading cards. They mostly just drive prices up artificially for a short time until it becomes undesirable or impossible to keep doing that, to keep buying out product and flipping it immediately. So those are the main three types of buyers, and we all agree people who open packs are good for the hobby. We are the majority of buyers, being just people who want to collect or chase hit cards. But believe it or not, investors are actually good for the hobby as well. They remove some supply from circulation, which creates scarcity. It props up prices across the board, which ensures that the Pokemon Company International can keep printing cards and ensuring that they remain desirable and valuable long term. This is a guarantee for Pokemon to keep putting money into printing cards, making games, etc. It really is good for the hobby long term, as long as the percentage of that group of buyers doesn't grow beyond a certain point and start to outpace the general pack rippers, collectors, and players. So this might not seem like a good thing if all you want to do is just collect or play the game, but in reality, it is helpful for the overall Pokemon economy, like I just mentioned. So within the ecosystem of shiny cardboard, we all need each other. Collectors, TCG players, and investors, all snuggling together in one Snorlax-sized sleeping bag. And I should mention here real quick too that investors, as I'm talking about them, are distinctly different from flippers or scalpers, in that the scalpers are just trying to get the absolute highest price for a pack of Pokemon cards as soon as possible. And investors are oftentimes just really enthusiastic collectors who also have a bent for increasing their financial value, whether it be in stocks, gold, or shiny Charizards. So the investors aren't immediately trying to flip cards or boxes the same day that they got released on Facebook Marketplace. They're holding these sealed boxes, slabs, or even raw cards for years at a time to come back when the product is genuinely rare, at which point they will sell it for a profit so they can, let's be honest, buy more Pokemon cards. But this is where the story starts to get dark. As sealed Pokemon investing becomes more widely known as a strategy and oftentimes is outpacing the S&P and many other individual stocks as well, there's more YouTube videos, Reddit posts, Discord servers dedicated to sealed investing. This is all pushing your average collector into the sealed investing space. And so the investor to opener ratio starts to shift, and in a bad way, meaning more sealed product in the long term, meaning the product is less rare and less valuable in the long term. So at some point you have a market full of sealed boxes with nobody left on the other side of the trade. Or is there? So that was just a breakdown of the main 3 types of buyers within the Pokemon ecosystem. But now we need to know how many people are actually investing in sealed and keeping it long term, because that really can destroy the market. Before we get into that, I just want to do a quick shout out and a thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is Guppy. Guppy is a brand new program that just came out recently. They're constantly making new updates for it, but it is essentially a cheap automatic checkout service designed for collectors. There's no proxy servers, fake credit card accounts, or any of that stuff. It's just meant to help you as collectors get a few boxes at MSRP. So if you like getting Pokemon cards at MSRP, go check out Guppy. It's only $12.99 a month. Guppy is a must have if you like getting Pokemon cards at MSRP. I'll leave a link down in the description for you guys to check it out, so go check that out. And I know that most of you are about my age because my YouTube analytics say most of you are between your 20s and 30s. And also my YouTube analytics say that if you are seeing this, you are not subscribed. So please subscribe, share the video with a friend. I know everybody says that, but it actually really does help. So if you check the trends, the keyword sealed Pokemon investing pulls roughly only 4,400 monthly searches on YouTube. And that's just people typing that exact phrase. The actual number of people buying sealed as an investment without necessarily thinking of themselves as investors is substantially larger. Take the Poke Investing subreddit, for example. This is a subreddit that I've been involved in for at least the past 6 or 7 years or so. And about 7 years ago, there were literally a few thousand members on this sub. And now there's almost 600,000 active weekly visitors to this subreddit. Now, of course, not all of them are investing or holding sealed Pokemon cards. Many are investing in selling slabs or even raw cards as well. But the overall narrative of the subreddit, me being someone who has been a member for a long time now, is something that can often be found in every comment section that you look at, which is something akin to the notion sealed is king. So it's well known on this subreddit and across the industry now that sealed investing guarantees high returns in the long term, especially as these boxes age, more and more get ripped open, they gain value over time. But if this ratio gets out of whack between sealed investors and openers, that can change and it can destroy the market. So verifiably, there are a ton of sealed investors and flippers who are keeping sealed Pokemon product, that's for sure. So surely that will destroy the Pokemon ecosystem and everything will come crashing down all in due time, right? Right? Wrong, idiot. So we've talked about the 3 different types of buyers. We've talked about how many of those buyers are now becoming sealed investors, but this is the part of the video where I get to pat you on the back and whisper how everything's going to be all right, baby boy. Because I genuinely believe it will be if you're looking to collect or invest in Pokemon cards. The truth is, the growth in the number of sealed investors absolutely has had an effect on the market and the prices of Pokemon cards. Take Evolving Skies, for example. This is widely considered one of, if not the best set in modern history. And yet the sealed booster box prices have been stagnant at about $2,500 for almost the entire last year, with some volatility, of course. The reason for this stagnating of price in one of the top sets in modern history is 100% sealed investors. We are to blame. It's sealed investors looking to take profit from a box they got for $130 or even $500. I mean, freaking heck, I bought in around $600 and have sold 3 of my Evolving Skies booster boxes. And don't worry, I have more. This proves sealed investors absolutely affect the market long term. Evolving Skies would be doing what Team Up has done. So if you don't follow the market as closely as I do and you're not quite sure of what Team Up is or some of these older Pokemon sets, right now we are in the Mega Evolution block. Before that was the Scarlet and Violet block. Before that was Sword and Shield. And somewhere near the mid-end of Sword and Shield was Evolving Skies. But before Sword and Shield came the Sun and Moon block. And in that block at the end was the set Team Up. Team Up, like any other booster box from 2019, you could get for $80, $90, maybe $110, $120 if you were really unlucky or bought at a particularly volatile time. And that Team Up box is now going for over $10,000. And it's objectively not as good of a set as Evolving Skies, while still being a very reputable and good set. So what's the deal with that? Well, there's only one thing that causes that is an increase in supply over time. And with the amount of listings for Evolving Skies booster boxes that are on TCG Player or eBay right now, that is keeping the prices down because there's just so much sealed product available. Where a set like Team Up, which frankly was before my time of sealed investing, and before most of your time as well, which is what the market is showing us. Nobody kept this box sealed, which is why they're so expensive. And everyone knew Evolving Skies was going to be one of the greatest sets of all time. And so plenty of people kept them sealed. But I do want to be careful here because this isn't a doom and gloom piece about how Pokemon market is going to crash and we're all going to die in a fiery blaze of shiny cardboard. The mechanics I'm describing affect different parts of the market very differently. Vintage, for example, so base set, jungle, fossil, neo, those sets are mostly safe from this problem. The price point is already prohibitive enough that the investor class is self-limiting. You can't really democratize access to a product that costs $4,000 per pack. That's real scarcity and real historic demand. Number 2 would be what I'd call mid-era or the middle modern sets. This would be your Evolving Skies, Hidden Fates, Pokemon Celebrations from the 25th anniversary. These sets are expensive enough that most buyers are investors and old enough that it can't be found on store shelves anymore, so it really is somewhat rare. But plenty of listings can be found online, unlike vintage sealed boxes, which are often completely unavailable except at select high-end auction houses. Number 3 would be the hyper-modern sets. So these would be sets like Prismatic Evolution, Destined Rivals, Ascended Heroes, Phantasmal Flames, brand new sets that are still in the limelight and are being opened at scale. So the ratio of openers versus sealed investors is more balanced with these sets, but this is actually where I would watch most carefully. These hypermodern sets that we just mentioned are where all the new collectors are going, as well as all the new investors. And it's easiest to get these packs for MSRP if you're lucky. So what do we do with all of this information? Well, let me sum it up if you're as confused as I am in general. Sealed investing is not going to ruin the hobby, at least not right now. But there are 3 things that you should know. So if you're looking to invest in sealed Pokemon cards or even slabs or raw, number 1 is know your time horizon. Sealed investing really does work, but it works primarily over the 5 to 10 year time frame, not 6 months or even 2 to 3 years. Even though for the last 2 to 3 years, it has worked really well, but that's abnormal. The investor class doesn't just collapse overnight. The number of sealed boxes doesn't just collapse overnight. It takes time. So if you're holding through multiple market cycles, the opener class catches up, and some of those older sets get ripped when prices dip, as they inevitably will at some point. So the scarcity eventually becomes real. Number 2 would just be doing your market research. Watch the ratio. If you see a surge in sealed product listings on eBay, more volume, flat or dropping prices, that might not just be a dip. That might be some early evidence that the investor to ripping ratio has flipped. And that's just your signal to pay attention, not necessarily panic sell everything right now. Although that's always an option too. Not option 2, just an option, you get it. Number 3 would be to diversify within the sealed product that you're holding. Don't over-concentrate in just one single set. Even though sometimes you do really get a strong notion, this set is going to do well over time. I'm talking Ascended Heroes, Evolving Skies, as we talked about earlier. Sometimes you just know this set is going to do really well long-term. But the investor crowding risk is really set specific, not necessarily market wide. There are sets from the Evolving Skies era that have way less boxes available compared to Evolving Skies. Take Sword and Shield base set, for example. That's an awful set, and yet it's reached the price that it has simply because nobody held on to it and kept it sealed. So if this video made you deeply unsettled and uncomfortable about your collection, that was the point. Like and subscribe, it really does help. And if you appreciate what I'm doing, I have created a Patreon. I've been posting exclusive videos over there. I have sealed Pokemon that I'm selling under market value, but those are only available to patrons, as well as just writing some articles about thoughts that I have about the hobby or investing, whatever it may be. So if you want to support me, that's another way that you can do it. Like I said, check out Guppy, guys. It's a serious game changer and super easy to use. Check out my Patreon. That's about it. Peace.